Hey, how you guys doing today? Um, I just wanted to come on here and I want to give an update to last night's video. Um, I was clearly in a bad headspace and I've done a lot of thinking for today. Lots and lots of thinking today. I'm going to do better. I'm going to become better. I'm going to change a lot of stuff that I do. I'm going to stick to my goal of making content that my brother would watch and that he'd laugh at and make fun of me for. When I say make fun of me, in a sibling sort of way. Same way like an older sibling would pick at a younger sibling. Um, and a lot of this stems from just a long walk I had today. I took that walk, I did a lot of thinking, um, equal amount of crying, and essentially I concluded that, I'm the problem in my life right now. You know, I just I need to change what I'm doing. I need to become a better person. And to do that, you know, I have I have goals in mind. I have step-by-step instructions on what I'm going to do to basically become the person I want to be, become the person that he could look up to. And first things first, I need to clean myself up. I need to take better care of myself, my living conditions, just my environment. You know, the environment you put yourself in really affects the way that you feel. Now, I'm not the messiest person, but I've definitely been lacking on cleaning things up a bit around here. And, right after this, that's what I'm gonna work on. Um, I I need to work on cleaning my car. I need to work on taking care of my car because I use this thing every day. It gets me from A to B, gets me work, home, whatever I decide I want to do. And if I lose that, I have nothing. I have no way of getting to work. Um, my second step is going to have to be, you know, little little changes of habits. What I've come to realize is that I try and go for 100% change. Try to change everything 100% all at once, and that doesn't work. So I think I need to start small, change little habits first before I commit to the big habits. Because the little habits, I have a bunch of them. My sleep schedule, I'm going to work on that. What time I wake up, I need to change that. I miss so much of my day because I decide I want to stay up late at night. And then I decide that I just want to stay in bed till the last possible minute that I have to get up. And who's that's really hurting is me in the long run. Like, I'm going to become better. I'm going to do better. I will be better. After I change my little habits, I gotta fix how I eat. I gotta fix how much I spend on eating out. I shouldn't eat out at all. I can literally go and buy food that's cheaper than the meals that I will go and eat out from. That is my biggest issue. As for work and, making sure I'm financially good, I just need to cut back on my spending. I need to do better on saving. Get my emergency fund in order because I don't have any of that. I spend, spend, spend. I am a habitual spender. I look at retail therapy as my therapy, and I can't right now. I can't do that anymore. So from here on out, I'm changing what I'm spending. Another big issue I have, I I eat when I'm bored. I eat when I'm nervous. I eat when I'm stressed. And, you know, I am a bigger person. Definitely on the bigger side of things. I've been in the gym actively for a year almost now. And, I'm seeing little improvements, but I've really stepped up the past few months. And I've noticed lots of change. So I'm definitely going to keep up with that. I'm going to make sure that, I reach further heights because everyone has to have this visualization of who they want to be, their ideals, stuff like that. And, I in my ideal headspace, I'm a lean and fit person. I'm healthy. Healthy in my social circles, healthy in my physical like health, healthy in my spiritual well-being, healthy in my self perspective of myself. And, you know, it might be a little superficial, but it's what I see for myself. Second, I, like I said, I want to have a healthy social circle, which I have my friends now. They're great. Both the ones I went to high school with, who I'm in group chats with, and my group of friends that I met through work. Some great people, and I couldn't ask for better friends. And, I'm going to keep in touch with them the best that I can. You know, all of us have different paths. We have different ways of thinking, and for the most part, I need to do better about keeping in touch with people. I need to do better about letting people in and talking to people. Um, Today, for instance, I was shut down. I was a recluse to myself, to my friends, um, because I just felt it's probably terrible to say, but I felt stupid for having feelings. It's crazy that that's even a sentence someone can say, but being brought up in a house where they didn't care about your feelings, they downplayed your feelings, really affects how you develop into a person. And that's exactly how I am now. I feel stupid for having feelings. I feel stupid for wanting to express feelings like this. Even this in the last video was a whim of a spur of the moment decision of deciding to get on here, hit record, and just talking to my mic. Um, and I just made this world right here, this Minecraft world, and I named it Let's Talk. I'm gonna get on here and I'm just gonna talk while I play. Live commentary. And I'm going to find that spark of passion that I had before because it's it's something to not be passionate about anything. It's another to have once been passionate and now you feel like a husk of yourself. I'm at the point now where asking myself questions, I can't even think of an answer. I genuinely feel like an NPC in my own body. And it's something I'm going to work on because I want to be happy. I want to make people around me happy. And I guess this is my way of coping, my way of grieving, and my way of moving forward and doing better is talking it out when necessarily I wouldn't want to talk it out. I'm at 8 subscribers right now. Where I see myself in a year, I'll be happy with 100. You got to start somewhere, and this is my start. This is my start. This is gonna be my passion project. I I want this to be my little hobby. When I'm not feeling great, I can always just come here, talk about it, hit hit publish, hit record, and you know, get that off my shoulders. It's not good to bottle everything up, which is what I do. And I'm definitely gonna have to do a lot better about it. I'm gonna have to get used to this whole talking into the void and the void not talking back. Eventually, I'll turn on my webcam, do webcam with my videos. That's another thing I'm gonna struggle with. It's one thing to talk to a mic, it's another to talk to a camera. Um, Everyone thinks they're camera ready until they get in front of the camera to talk, and then all of a sudden, you have nothing to say. Mind empty, mind blank, no thoughts, all thoughts at the same time. You have nothing in your head, but your thoughts are running 1,000 miles a minute. It's a phenomenal feeling. I've only felt that way talking to pretty women, and that's kind of embarrassing to be honest as well. Um, you've never experienced embarrassment until you're stuck in front of a beautiful woman trying to figure out what to say and sitting in silence because you just don't know what to say. Um, Another aspect I want to work on is working on being able to have healthy relationships. Um, a big catalyst for this is I'm an asshole. I'm a terrible person. I've led women on these past couple of months. I've recently just lost someone who cared about me because I was a selfish dick. She she had every right to feel the way she felt. I was ignoring her for 3 weeks at this point. Wasn't responding to her messages. Wasn't doing anything, and I told her she was better off blocking me, and she said what she said. She's very upset, which I would be too if I was in her shoes going through the same thing. Um, and essentially, that's where the whole conversation of my brother being so proud of me came from. In a bit of anger, she said it. Did she mean it? Probably. But I'm not going to give that the reaction that she was looking for. I'm, it did it did pull at my heartstrings. It did make me actually take a step back and go, wow, I am terrible. And so I'm going to do everything I can to change and be better than who I was during these last few months. Because you only have one life. Why would you want to spend it being just a crappy person to people when you can put all this kindness into the world? You can be nice to everybody you meet and live your life in positivity rather than negativity. Sure, I can sit here every day, I can wallow in my sadness, and I can, cry about my brother being gone. Is that going to bring him back? No. Is that going to change what happened? No. Even doing what I'm doing, not going to bring him back. But guess what? Now I'm not bringing everyone else around down with me emotionally, mentally. I'm bringing everyone up. And that's who he was as a person. A very positive person. Always found a way to make you laugh just by saying whatever was on his mind. For instance, one day I was just trying to joke with him. I was like, "So, you got a girlfriend at school?" His response, "No." I was like, "Oh, you got a boyfriend?" "No." I was like, "Who do you like?" He's like, "I like myself." And I just couldn't help but laugh. And and his just like very very like what's the word for it? What's the word when something is very like knowable? Well, in any case, in that voice that you just knew was his voice, the recognizable voice, that's the word. He said it in his recognizable voice, telling me that, he doesn't have a boyfriend, doesn't have a girlfriend, and the only person he likes is himself. And he knew he was a little smart ass about it, but you know what he did? Didn't even look up from his phone. Just said it, not even thinking. And that's the great thing about him. He could say whatever was on his mind and not have to think twice about what he said. Not have to sit there and evaluate every word he said and did I say this correctly? How does this person feel about me saying this? You know, he didn't have that anxiety. And I wish I was like that. I wish I could be unapologetically myself like he was. And I will be. I'm going to get there. I'm going to become that person. And at the end of the day, I am I'm going to live life for the both of us since he can't. And the biggest thing I want to do is be that change in the world that I want to see. Everyone talks about how they're going to do this, this, and that when they have money. They're not going to change. Well, I'm not going to change. I'm going to keep working to become a better person, keep working to do what I want to do. And I'm going to I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to donate a lot of my money to Epilepsy Awareness Foundation. And, be that advocate for it. Because sure, there's a lot of people that make fun of it because, it's not something they're personally affected by. And like I'm not criticizing those people. I used to make fun of my brother. I used to laugh. I used to joke about flicking the light switches on and off really fast to mess with him. Granted, that wasn't what caused his seizures. But those are the jokes I'd make with him because we were brothers. Like I'm not gonna judge somebody for making jokes. Like I've made the jokes. I've laughed about it because it didn't get that serious before, and then it did get serious. And one day I might make a joke like that again. I don't want it to come off as, oh, well, you said that you're going to be an advocate for epilepsy awareness, but you're here making these really offensive jokes. It's a joke. If I'm going to offend you, then I want you to excuse yourself. If you're easily offended, I want you to excuse yourself because I shouldn't have to tiptoe around what I need to say around anybody, to anybody. I mean, in certain cases, yes, I understand. You know, contextual awareness, read the room type stuff. But this is my platform right here. This is where I'm going to speak. This is where I'm going to say stuff. And if you don't like what I'm saying, then kick rocks. Um, a little bit about me as a person. I'm 24 years old. I have changed my major 3 times in college. 0 college credits because I flunked all my classes. Um, and I do plan on going back to school this fall. That's my plan from the beginning of this year. And I'm going to go for computer science. I've always been fascinated by programming. Just the idea of being able to make something out of code and, you know, watching your code come to life has truly astounded me. Obviously, I want to keep making content. I want to get better about having a schedule for my content. Right now, the goal is every day. I want to put out a video every day. Minimal editing for now because I'm just talking. I'm just having a conversation, live commentary over a video. And, you know, it's sorry, I had to get quiet for a second there. And it's a big thing for me because my brother made his YouTube account way before me. He has 1 video, 2 shorts posted on his account, and that was something he always wanted to do. He would sit there, play games by himself, and he would just talk and talk and talk like he was making a video. Nothing recording, just talking like he was making a video. Bro was doing it for the love of the game at the ripe age of 10 years old, sitting on his tablet, sitting on his phone, sitting on his MacBook. And I was jealous that he made it look so easy. But here I am now, a few years under my belt, and I'm just talking. I'm not commentating on what I'm doing, I'm just talking. And I think that's a big step in the right direction for me. Before I would get hesitant and I'd be like, man, what am I even gonna say if I press record? What am I gonna do for this? What am I gonna do for that? Today, I'm sitting here and I'm just talking to you guys, whoever's out there listening. And I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys, go hug a family member, go hug your mom, go hug your dad, and tell them that you love them. Go hug your brother, go hug your sister, cousin, grandma, grandpa. Hug them and tell them you love them because at the end of the day, you live once, they live once, and you never know what's going to happen. Waking up every day is a blessing. And the last thing you want is to leave things unsaid at the end of the day because you're going to have regret, a lot of regret. But to each their own, you know, I personally, I'm alone right now. I I don't talk to my mom. I don't talk to my dad. Don't talk to any cousins, uncles, aunts, grandparents. Don't talk to anybody. It's me alone, and my daily interaction with people is my job and my friends. And for the most part, it's getting me by. Um, but yeah, make sure you leave a comment down below. I'll respond. We can have a conversation. We can talk. Um, but anyways, yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, night, and like the quote from my favorite movie, The Truman Show. Um, if I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
got a pocket full of zeros. White smoke blows when I open up the window. I'm a shark in the pond, you a motherfucking minnow. I'm a star, like Ringo. Kingpin, Pablo, fucking up the gringos. Got a bitch say my name to a pillow. I'ma eat the pussy good like a fucking armadillo.